So this was my second week on the 7.5 milligram dose of Zepbound, and it's definitely been interesting. Some side effects are sneaking their way back around, but there's actually some good news too. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Grace. I have been on a GLP-1 journey since February of this year. I started with the 2.5 milligram dose for 8 weeks, then I was on the 5 milligram dose for 12 weeks, and I just started my second injection of 7.5 milligrams. All of this under the care and advice of my medical provider. I am not a doctor. I am just sharing my experience and what is working for me using a GLP-1 to aid my weight loss struggle. So, the very first thing I want to talk about is my injection site tracking. Before I injected this week, I wanted to test a little something out, something a little nerdy, but possibly important to see if it helps the weight loss results, in any way, shape, or form. I went back into my Excel sheet. I keep an Excel sheet where I enter the date I injected, the dose, the injection site, side effects, even how I'm feeling. I put a word for how I'm feeling, and how much weight loss I had for that week, with my weight. And I realized that the biggest losses that I had, there were 2 weeks I lost 3 pounds in each week, and those biggest losses, the injection site was my right stomach and my right thigh. I thought it was interesting that my biggest losses were happening on the right side of my body. And I thought, you know what? Well, let me try it out. So I went ahead and I injected in my right stomach again. And I don't know if it's coincidence, but I'm going to keep testing it out to see if it works because the results this week were definitely worth the experiment. Now let's talk numbers. My starting weight back in February was 265.4 pounds, and just last week, my weigh in was 244.4 pounds. But this week, as hopefully you saw at the intro, I was actually at 241.8 pounds. I am so excited. I know that you can tell because I am just beaming. I am smiling from ear to ear, and it's because it feels really good. That's 2.6 pounds down this week and a combined total of 23.6 pounds since February over the last 22 weeks of using Zepbound. And let me tell you, I am feeling really good today. I am feeling excited, I'm feeling motivated, and I just cannot wait to keep going. I did have some side effects that started last week with 7.5 and some that were not really there and creeped back in. Dry mouth. Thank you for all of you guys who watched the video when I started 7.5. I got this episode of intense dry mouth and I would wake up with sore throat. Well, I took all of you guys' advice about hydrating and electrolytes, and maybe it was tied to acid reflux. I made sure that I stopped eating by 6 p.m. So I allowed my body enough time before bed to digest. And I definitely kept water next to me at the night table, and I hydrated really well during the day. I used an electrolyte every day. And I would say that my sore throat is definitely gone. I am still experiencing a little bit of dry mouth, but I feel like that side effect has definitely improved. The more gnarly side effect that is getting me very, very annoyed is insomnia. That's a different
Mm.
story. I've actually been diagnosed with clinical insomnia since 2019. That happened after I had my son, with hormones and pregnancy. Women's body really goes through it. And I do have a prescription to treat that. And but she said, well, if you don't need it, don't take it. Because you know that one of the symptoms on GLP-1s is you get very fatigued. So because I was fatigued at the beginning when I started 2.5 and even with a little bit of 5 milligrams, I didn't really need my prescription for insomnia anymore. But now that I'm back on 7.5, I am definitely noticing that that is creeping back in. I am constantly waking up throughout the night. I cannot stay asleep. I cannot go back to sleep. And it is incredibly frustrating because I am tired throughout the day. School starts in about 2 weeks and a half, and I'm a teacher, and I'm just really kind of worried that I'm going to be so tired. I do use magnesium bioptimizers. Um, because I know magnesium has been suggested a lot by this community and by my provider to help like relax and, just have that like soothing effect before I go to sleep. Melatonin doesn't work for me, so that's not an option. I do have my prescription, and my doctor has suggested that I return back to it if the sleeping cycles don't, sort of work themselves out, because I absolutely need rest. Like, I cannot keep going like this, especially when school starts up again. If you're enjoying the video so far, thank you for being here. If you are brand new, will you consider subscribing and hit the like, share the video? It really helps me to continue to grow the channel. I want to share this information and my experience with as many as possible so that hopefully I can help somebody out. So, what did I do this week that helped me to lose 2.6 pounds? I talked about this in my last video. What I was gonna do. I did a video showing you guys like a little grocery haul and how I was gonna use those food items to put meals together for the week. I kept it very easy, and I made sure that it was things that I could literally just toss together within a 15-20 minute window to make sure that I stuck with my meals and I wasn't snacking or eating things I wasn't supposed to. So I went back to low carb. I ate some numbers here, some macros. I was under 90 grams of carbs per day. My average was about 1,500 calories per day, and I was eating between 100 and 120 grams of protein. I think that being able to prep things in advance, like I made this awesome pickled tuna salad for my lunch, having that ready every day allowed me to, not get distracted by, well, let me go eat out, or let me go to Panera, or let me go to Chick-fil-A, and really focus on, I have food at home. Let me just make that. It's ready to go. And it tastes really good. Having like those prepackaged salads that I can just toss together while my protein, my salmon, my chicken, or my ground beef is cooking, it made my life very, very easy. And I was able to stick to my meal plan. I did not eat outside of my meal plan. And I think that definitely really helped keep me on track. And I think it is part of helping me with my weight loss results this week. I also did track. I put everything, my phone, I have a Samsung, and my phone has a health app. It's called. I entered everything, and I was able, that's how I got the calories. I was able to, average it for the last 5 days or whatnot, and realize that I'm within my caloric deficit. Now, my exercise and movement. I told you guys that my goal was to work out before my family got up. And it was a little difficult because, again, because of my insomnia and my really wacky sleeping schedule right now. But I said I would commit, and that's what I've been doing. I put my alarm at 5:50. I get up, I change, and I have been doing 30 minutes of cardio before my family wakes up, and then I've been doing a little of strength training. I am happy to share something with you guys. I'm going to put some footage here of my brand new walking pad. Now, I know I told you guys a while back that I wanted suggestions on what are rewards that I could give myself like every 25 pounds lost. Now, I'm not quite at 25 pounds lost yet. I'm at 23.6. But my husband, he could see that I was like struggling the last couple of weeks, and he just wanted to surprise me. He sees how like, I come a hot mess when I come from my walks in the neighborhood, and he just wanted to do a nice gesture to keep me encouraged and motivated. And on Sunday, a beautiful little walking pad showed up. We opened it, put it together, if you will. We set it up in our garage, and that's where I've been doing my walks very early in the morning. I still get a great sweat going out. Try to put a picture here of what I look like after that. And I'm only going at speed 3. I'm learning to get my footing. I have sometimes almost like, slipped or fall. Or as far as my strength training, I've told you guys lots of videos back that I'm working on kettlebell swings, and I've been doing 100 kettlebell swings a day. Kettlebell workouts are supposed to be like really great for your entire body. I could definitely feel it in my arms. I could feel it in my quads, in my hamstrings, in my back. I am going to put a video here because I did film just like a little bit of it, like 20 reps of it, or not 20 reps, but I am going to insert a video here. I filmed just a little clip because I need you guys' help. Can you tell me in the comments if my form looks okay? I know that the trick about kettlebell swings is you're not supposed to like squat or bend your knees too much. You're supposed to bend at the hips, I think it is. So, I've been watching a lot of like YouTube like fitness videos to make sure my form is correct, but because I feel, the soreness throughout my body, I believe I'm doing it correctly. But if you do kettlebell swings, can you give me your advice in the comments and just let me know that I'm doing this part correctly? I did do a poll sometime last week where I asked you guys, what's most important for sustainable weight loss? Is it strength training alone, cardio alone, or a balance of both? And 74% of you guys said that a balance. And I completely agree because I can feel that my body responded to that. I am drinking water with sparkling strawberry water and just a little like drop of strawberry watermelon water flavoring. It's from Target. It has zero everything. And it's really good. Let me tell you guys what happened with my brand new primary care physician 2 days ago. In January, I mentioned this before, I moved to Sarasota. I used to live in Orlando and I loved all of my providers there. So, but I had to get established with new ones here. Okay, not a big deal. So I look up people, and actually, this particular provider came recommended by my kid's dentist, who I really really love. She's also in our new area, so I was thrilled to have somebody recommended. I made the appointment, waited a long time. That's how busy she is, and I showed up. Now, she was really nice, like bubbly person, just, very like happy. But the minute she asked me for my list of prescriptions and I told her the magic word, and the magic word is Zepbound, her whole tone changed. She was actually like, when I was sharing my medications, she was doing the doctor thing, just kind of looking down and, yep. Okay, and how many milligrams of that? But the minute I got to the prescription of Zepbound, she looked up and she said, "You know that there's an increased risk of pancreatitis with that, right? And you also know I will not be prescribing that." And I was kind of like taken aback, a little bit. And then she said, as if she wasn't done with that, then she said, "By the way, I'm going to go ahead and order a bunch of labs now that I know that." And I was kind of like, okay. I mean, I wasn't asking for a refill from you, but I do appreciate that you want, all the data about what's going on inside my body, because I appreciate it. And that's kind of what I was here for. It felt like I felt very judged. It was heavy and I had all kinds of feelings about it. I'm not going to lie. I kind of don't want to go back to her, but I do want my lab work results. So I'm going to get those done and, you know, meet with her for the results of that, and then just figure out if I want to stick with her or not. I asked you guys in a poll also just a couple days ago if you ever felt judged or dismissed by your provider when you were seeking GLP-1 medications. Now, I am not referring to telehealth doctors. Obviously, we know those guys are prescribing GLP-1s left and right. I'm referring to like your primary care physicians, maybe ones that you've seen for, your entire life or a big span of your life. Those doctors that you truly have a relationship with. And 82% of you guys said no, there was no hesitation from your doctors. They wrote the script and they were supportive. But clearly, that's not my experience, at least not with this one particular doctor. Now, my GLP-1 provider, of course, she's very supportive. She's the one prescribing the medication. She allows me to take my time. That's why I have been on doses so long. So she lets me go at my own pace. But she also gives me all of the medical data, if you will, letting me know when it's time to move up or what changes I should make. She also, I thought that it was a weird experience because I have heard about some doctors dismissing GLP-1s. It hadn't happened to me yet though. So I didn't know how to react at that moment. So I finished my doctor's visit, but very quickly after I left, I felt horrible, and I was worried, and I was mad, and I didn't want to go back to her. So I don't know. I don't know if this has something similar has happened to you. Share in the comments. Tell me how you managed that. Now, let me wrap this video up. Here's something that totally made my week. My husband has been watching how committed I am. He is not on a GLP-1. My husband is actually also, you know, um, overweight. And, he tries the best that he can. He has a lot on his shoulders. He's the breadwinner for our family, and he just really does a lot to support each of us in whatever it is that we're doing. And he has always been supportive of any weight loss struggle that I'm going through. He will make the budget for whatever food item or medication, or the time, so that I can get my movement in. I love that about him. And but if I force it on him, then that's when we can have a difference of opinion. So he'll be supportive, but I can't force it on him. So he has been watching how I'm doing, though, and because he has seen all of my effort, he wants to follow my meal plan from this week, my low carb meal plans this week, next week. And actually, something that he's already been doing, a change he's already made, is he's already been moving more. He sees me working out. So typically, after we put our kids down, he will, sneak down to the garage, and he's also been doing like a YouTube video exercise. So I'm so proud of him, and I'm just glad that, I was able to inspire my family too. So next week, 23, I am repeating what's working. There's no need to change it. I am keeping my early morning workouts. I am continuing to eat my low carb meals, low carbish meals. I am eating carbs. Remember, I'm still eating about 90 grams of carbs per day. So I'm still eating carbs, but I am focusing on eating less, like starchy carbs, like the breads, rice, noodles, that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to stay positive and trust the process. 7.5 has been really good to me so far, and I'm just hoping that the momentum keeps going. Now, can you share with me a little bit about yourself in the comments? Will you tell me? I have 3 questions for you. Are you tracking your injection sites too? Again, I track mine on an Excel sheet. Have you noticed like a pattern? If you inject in a particular site, it gives you better results than another. 2, have you felt supported by your provider? And 3, if you saw my kettlebell form video, can you tell me if I have good form or not? If you're on this journey too, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you can always come back and you can continue to see my journey here. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.